Welcome to Doc's Daily Dose for Dads, prescribed by Dr. Harrison. So, if most of you guys know, I teach graduate school. And in our last seminar, we had kind of a Q&A. The last class I do, I always just kind of let them free flow questions and answer anything that wasn't answered and cover anything that they need clarification on. And in my seminar, one of my students presented an example, and we started a conversation that I thought would be perfect for today's episode. So the student was saying, well, let me give you the example first. So they're saying the dad would come home from work and they would put their briefcase on the table, pop it open, pull some papers out, and kind of start doing some more work. And when they would leave to go do something, like go to the bathroom, maybe start making dinner, doing laundry or something, their kid would come along and mess with his important papers and tear them up, scribble on them, do all kinds of stuff. And the question was, what percentage of the responsibility falls on the parent versus falls on the kid in this situation? And this brought to mind a couple of things that I want to kind of share and hopefully provide some advice on. First thing is, leave your work at work, at least as much as you can. Don't come from the office after 8 hours and then bring it to the table and start doing more work. Spend that time with your kids. Be completely present. And then when they go down, maybe pop up and do some more work. Now, obviously, there are some times when you're going to have to get some stuff done, or maybe you really want to because it's a project or you're really focused. That's great. But every day, bringing home your briefcase and getting to work again, you got to have a better work-life balance. Number two is, for me, the responsibility falls more on the parent at a younger age, right? You have to change the environment. So dad needs to put the papers away when he's going to do something else, put it up where the kid can't reach it, do something that's not going to allow this kid to come and take all the papers all the time. Now, I know what you're saying, but wait a minute. They need to be responsible. They need to listen. And I've dealt with this. My youngest one, he loves to get on the phone when you're not looking and pull up his favorite music, or he'll text message people. And sometimes you can't have him text messaging people who, it's an important client or an important contact or something of that nature. And they're getting random gibberish texts or texts that, they just don't need to be getting. So what did I do? I locked my phone. Now, he did have a consequence for breaking those rules, and we'll see if that was effective in stopping him from getting on the phone. But at the same time, I have to create an environment to where that's not possible for him to do in the first place, so that he has to actually ask me if he wants to get on the phone and do something, as opposed to just having free range to get access to anything. If your kid is always on the computer and he's sneaking it, well, if you take the cord and the battery dies, there's not much they can do. If you pull the cord from the keyboard or the mouse to the desktop, or from the chassis to the monitor, you can't turn it on, right? And they've got to ask for those things to be able to get them, and you can have them earn it or whatever it is that you want them to do. But I do think the responsibility goes up on the kid's side as they become older, right? For young kids, I think it falls more on the parent. But as they get older and become teenagers and young adults, more and more responsibility lands on their shoulders. But you can't expect this kind of self-discipline at a young age, that 3, 5, 6, 7, even 8, 9 years old age. You just can't expect it. It's a skill that needs to be taught and rewarded when it's done correctly, right? I mean, hell, can you even have all the self-discipline you want? Can you always tell yourself, I really want that one more taco, but I'm not going to eat it, or that one more drink and I'm just not going to have it? Or that one more thing I want to go do that I know is not really healthy for me. I'm going to hit the snooze button one more time, or miss the gym today. Right? Your self-discipline is not perfect. So why do we expect a young child's self-discipline to be perfect? Teach them self-discipline and reward them when they do the thing correctly. But help them out. Help them out by creating an environment that is going to set them up for success with respect to that self-discipline. Kids are impulsive. So when you leave stuff around, They're curious. They like to discover. They like to look. They like to play with things, manipulate things. What else do you expect them to do? Sit there and be a perfect child? Well, one, no one's perfect. Two, a kid who sits around and does nothing and never breaks a rule, to me, I wouldn't call that perfect. I would call that not realistic. So make sure you're helping your kid out here. Take ownership, take responsibility as they get younger. Teach them that skill of self-discipline over time. Reward them for that so that when they are teenagers and in high school and moving on and going to college, they have the self-discipline because you've set up the world around them for them to be self-disciplined and be rewarded and reap the benefits of that self-discipline instead of always getting in trouble or yelled at or scolded for having too much impulse and no impulse control. That's Doc's Daily Dose for Dads. Don't forget to hashtag Doc's Daily Dose for Dads, hashtag 4D. All social media at rebirthbx. Check it out, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music. Go to the website, rebirthbx.com. Pretty simple. What are you going to do to fix the environment so that your kid has a better chance of success and you have less hair pulling? See you guys tomorrow.